Good day, everybody. This is another edition of the Insider's Room, talking baseball, American League West edition. The reason I'm wearing this is I got my first COVID vaccine shot today, and AM Plus Money said, or not AM Plus, sorry, Ray Cape said he was waiting for me to have a horn growing out of my head the next time he saw me. So there you go. This is a nice Razorback hat. Sweet! Hey! All right. Now let's get back to something serious. We're going to talk about a little bit American League West here. And I've got our NASCAR expert on today, Right Cape, and our football specialist from the last baseball show that we did together, AM Plus Money. From now on, known as Mr. Rip Van Winkle. He won't be here today. He's got other pressing duties. I don't know. He only had 8 hours of sleep today, but hey, just joking. He'll be back on next week when you break down the National League. So, but right, Cape, here we go. Let's look at last year's standings, how they finished. Again, it was the A's on top, followed by the cheating Astros. But I do love Houston, so I'll take that back. Seattle, LA Angels, and Texas Rangers. So we look at PECOTA projections, as we always do for this coming year. They project Houston to get 93 wins. The Angels, again, I don't get this one, 87. A's at 80. Seattle at 70. Texas at 67. I know, Ray Cape, you've been looking at some of these things as far as over and under in wins. But when you look at those PECOTA projections, is there anything that stands out to you?
Well, I actually think PECOTA has done well with this division. I like how they put it. I think it's close to what it is. So I like this one a lot better than the AL Central one.
Yeah, so do I, man. But yeah, and we had that discussion at length the last time we were on. So here's the thing. I know we jumped to teams, but I'm gonna have to ask you this right off the bat. Let's just jump to this team first. Oops. Sorry, there. Let's just jump to this team first. The Angels. What are your thoughts on the Angels?
Well, I mean, every year you expect something to happen with the Angels, and they always seem to let you down with their pitching. Their over-under number is 83.5. They still have Mike Trout and they have Rendon. So, there's always going to be pop in that lineup. Shohei Ohtani, we'll see if he has a good year this year. See if he sticks to the pitching and the batting, or he's just batting. As you saw on the list, he was listed as a DH. But, I mean, pitching has been a problem for this team for a long, long time. They added Quintana and Cobb, and they got Bundy last year. So I think the rotation has gotten better. They have one of the worst bullpens in baseball last year, and I don't think they did anything to make the bullpen better. They got rid of Antrell Simmons, and they got Jose Iglesias from the Orioles. I guess he may be an upgrade, but you can't be sure. And he also got Roble Garcia as a utility man. He could pretty much play any position. And they also got a closer, so Raciel Iglesias. I think they should be decent. I don't think this division's too strong, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them at the top of the division, maybe jump into a wild card spot or something.
All right. Yeah, I mean, and they've got arguably the greatest baseball player ever. but doesn't matter if you don't make the playoffs. I mean, they're still suffering from Pujols, the Pujols contract. I look at this. Yeah, Rondon. Yeah, I mean, Dexter Fowler. He's one of Madden's favorites. The whole you go, we go, White Sox or Cubs actually. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. My thing about Ohtani, will is he gonna go both ways, or
Yeah,
he's listed as like the fifth starter, but I guess what do you value? Do you value his battery? Do you value his pitching? And why play him at both? When it's more likely you get injured at one or the other.
yeah. Personally, I'd rather have his bat than his pitching arm. I think he's a better hitter.
Okay. Yeah. I I agree with you. I just this team has always been underachieving. I mean, at the time everybody thought it was a great signing when they signed Pujols, but he hasn't done what he did in St. Louis, and him and Trout, you would think that could be a dynamic. I know it's not basketball. I know there's 9 guys on the field and whatever, but I think this whole team's been a disappointment for many years, and I just can't get that taste out of my mouth.
Yeah, and them hiring Joe Madden last year was supposed to fix that, but he hasn't really done anything. I'm not the biggest Joe Madden fan. I think he's overrated.
Yeah, I mean, living in where I live, I listen to mostly Chicago sports stations, and I mean, I don't know if he's not a great manager, but the thing he brings to the team that it's more, and that's why it only lasts that's why he's gone. It only lasts for a few years. He brings that kind of thing where does crazy shit to get the team together, the players together. No, he does, and that's not. But if it doesn't work in the next year or two, then I think he'll be gone there also. And I don't know if it can work there, as you say. I mean, they got 2 or 3 really good superstars, and then it's like we'll fill in the rest. But it is what it is. All right, so let's start looking at the cream of the crop in this division. Last year's winner was the Oakland A's. I mean, they have a decent lineup. Pitching, I'm not all that impressed. And they lost their closer. They lost their closer to the White Sox and Jenkins. I guess I look at the A's, and it's always the same with the A's. It's always it goes back to Moneyball and getting the most out of the least, or looking for as bettors do. We look for value, and they've got a lot of value out of their players, but it hasn't really gotten them anything in the playoffs. What's your thoughts on this team moving forward in 2021?
Yeah, they can't get out of the first round of the playoffs ever, and yeah, they're a team that doesn't like to spend money. They want to get different guys in here that do different things, but I think this team takes a step down. The Semien loss is big. The Hendricks loss is big. I like you. I'm not a fan of their starting rotation. Their bullpen is weak. Uh, yeah, I don't see them being as good as they were last year. I don't. They're not a playoff team.
Yeah, I agree with you, but isn't that what people pretty much say every year? And then somehow they seem to pull something out of their rear end and do better than most people expected. But to be honest, I think, I agree with you, man. I think they're going to take a step down because you can only go to that wall so often. And I don't know if there's anything left at that bottom of that well. I mean, they pretty much done everything they could. And I think I think that they might have a shot at a wild card, but just look at these. I think the American League Central and the American East they're lower. The middle tier teams are a lot better than this Oakland team when you're talking about wild cards.
Yeah, I don't have high hopes for him.
High hopes. We need high hopes. All right. We'll go to probably my second favorite team, Houston Astros. I still have a tough lineup. Gurriel, Altuve, Carrera, Bregman. Uh, they did lose Springer, which may set them back a little bit. Granke, McCluskey, the stars are okay. I think, but Granke's getting old in the tooth. They don't have Verlander. The bullpen's always been a little bit shaky. So I like this team. I think they have the offense to win the division if they can get some good stuff out of the pitching staff. And you can take all that trash can crap and throw it out the window because they made the playoffs last year anyway and actually had a good chance of getting far. But what are your thoughts on the Astros?
I'm a fan of this team too. I think they're built well. They lost Springer, Reddick, Acuna, and Peacock, and Houston's a team that they just keep on rolling with their losses. I'm big about Jordan Alvarez playing this year. He had COVID last year, and then he had problems, so he didn't play much. I love this starting rotation. Verlander, Greinke, McCullers, and Odorizzi. I think they're strong. Their starting pitching kept them in games last year. And they strengthened their bullpen with Stanek, Baez, and Steve Chizik. And I think their offense is always good. Altuve gets on base. You have Alvarez, Brantley, Correa. So you have a lot of power, guys who hit for average. So, yeah, I think this Astros team will win its division, and I could see them making a run to the World Series like they did last year.
So, to be honest, I haven't done a deep dive, but when is Verlander supposed to be back?
Oh, he should be playing at the start of the season.
Okay.
Yeah, he should be ready.
All right. Well, I know he went out last year with problems.
Yeah. The biggest thing was COVID complications had kept him out. But, yeah, I expect him to have a good year. Good young player. He hits for power.
I was talking Verlander.
Oh, Verlander. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about when he'll be pitching.
All right. That's probably the only ex-Detroit guy I actually like. But hopefully he makes it back. All right. All right. So Seattle. They finished third last year. Mate, they do it every year, and I don't know how. I really don't. You look at that lineup. I mean, who are these people? I know that the pitching staff again. It's still that things have to rely on Gonzalez, Paxton, that they picked up this year. But other than that, I mean, I don't. How can you sit there and go, oh yeah, I like this team. I mean,
last year the young guy showed promise. They didn't get beat up. They were in some games. For a little bit, they were the best offensive team in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I remember that. For the first 2 weeks, they were incredible, and then they fell off the deep end.
Yeah, I mean, it's a young team. They're in rebuilding. They want to see what they got. They still have guys down at the the minor league levels that could come up. There's a guy I really like, Jared Kennelich, and he's a left fielder, good batter. Yeah, I don't expect much from this team, but if they do better than they did last year, then I think that's a step up for them. Uh, they need a bullpen help. They didn't really get any. They signed Ken Giles, who was actually an ex-Philly. Their rotation is not great. We'll see what Justice Sheffield does this season, if he gets any better, takes the next step. But it's a young rotation. It's a young lineup. So I don't expect much from this team. But, I mean, their win-loss is set at 73. So I think they'll be around there, 73 wins.
All right, so the last team we have, and hey, at least one thing about this team, they're going to have a full stadium of fans, and that's the Texas Rangers.
Yep.
Again, I know Adore, Joey Gallo are decent. I mean, Gibson, Lyles are okay. I mean, they got Dane Dunning from the White Sox in that last trade. And if you talk to if you listen to Chicago sports radio or fans that come on that, they love Dane Dunning. But I think they had to get rid of him to get Lance Lynn, which I think will help him better in the next 2 years. So, any thoughts that you have on the Rangers?
Yeah, this is a team that I expect to be the worst team in the American League.
Oh, come on!
Yeah.
Worse than Detroit.
Rangers are going to be the worst team in the American League. They are bad. But I got a stat for you here. So at Globe Life last year, their home park, they hit 27 home runs in 30 games. The Dodgers and the Braves, who played there in the playoffs, hit 25 in 7 games. And the Dodgers and Rays in the World Series, which was played there, combined for 21. So that shows me that this team has no power. It's a weak lineup. They don't really have a bullpen. Their starting rotation is not great. They didn't make too many moves. All they really did was get rid of their best player, Lance Lynn. They added David Dahl, but I mean that guy hasn't really played since he's come up from the major leagues. He's been hurt all the time. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be looking good for the Texas Rangers, except for the fact that they'll have full capacity.
Right, and then halfway through the season, they're going to beat Duke, and then half the team's going to have COVID.
Yeah, they don't want to play anymore.
Yeah, and then they won't want to play anymore. They'll forfeit the rest of the season, and there you go. Now, all right, so right, Cape, kind of closing up on this one. Who do you like to win this division, and who's your sleeper?
I think the Astros win this division. I mean, I feel like they're the best team by a wide margin. My sleeper is the Los Angeles Angels. And yeah, I think they're going to be in it this year. We'll see what happens.
All right, yeah, I agree with you on the Astros, and to pick my sleeper, I'll have to agree with you because I just don't see. I'm with you on the A's.
Yeah, there's not many options.
I'm with you on the A's, and I just don't see the other options with the other team. So I guess by default, Mike Trout will be challenging for a title or challenge for a division. All right, very good.
We've seen the Astros run away with this division many seasons, so I expect the same thing to happen. They had a slow start last year. I mean, they made it all the way to the AL Championship Series.
So, I know we're doing your NASCAR picks for tomorrow, 12 o'clock.
Yeah, we'll be at Phoenix, and yeah, we'll do a little preview. Make sure you turn your clocks ahead tomorrow.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
how did you make money last week on NASCAR?
I personally did. My hits, what I gave out on the show, didn't really hit anything. Yeah, Keselowski finished second, so it would have been nice if he won, but yeah, it didn't happen.
All right. Just make sure you give out the winners tomorrow.
That's what I'll be studying hard.
So we can keep this. So we can keep this going. Nah, we don't get paid. I'm still trying to work on the vodka and the goodies powder. I haven't got that done yet, but I'm working on it. All right, hey, right, Cape. Thanks a lot for all your insight on this, and hopefully we can get AM plus money. Rip Van Winkle back for as we start breaking down the National League, and just for people out there, we may have another expert from the Insiders Room breaking down baseball next week. We were doing a show earlier tonight. Greg the Greek, if he can pry himself away from his busy schedule, he's going to join us and break down some National League teams also.
Sounds great.
All right. So I want to thank you again, Right, Cape, for coming on and giving me all your time and your wisdom on this stuff. And we'll see you tomorrow at noon.
All right. Everybody check out the Insiders Room. We're on every social media platform you can find. Come in the Discord. It's free.
Yeah, come in the Discord. And we got people you don't see on these shows, but they're all giving out a lot of free picks. And next week, I got these same guys you're seeing. We're coming on. We're going to break down. Each guy's going to break down a bracket for you. A lot of good information. Take it, but as I say, take it as you wish. We don't win everything, but we do win. And as you said, right, Cape, in our Discord, it's all at the end of the day. You just need some money in your pocket.
That's right.
All right.
Profit is profit.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. This is the Insiders Room talking baseball. Signing off. American League West Edition. Right, Cap, again. Thanks a lot. And
thanks for having me on.
I'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you.